What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Welcome back to Top Bins, the show bringing you all the latest news, notes, analysis, and discussion from around the world of the beautiful game. Whether you call it football, whether you call it soccer, we're still talking about it. It's KB and Harrison, a little vintage episode of the return of Top Bins as our guy Mark is on vacation.
Thank God this week, because he would have lit me up relentless.
We're gonna break down the Prem, break down a little Champions League action as well, and send you all off on your merry way as we get ready for another weekend of Premier League action.
Yes,
Before
sir.
we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at FC Top Bins on Twitter and on TikTok, and at Top Bins Pod on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps more people find Top Bins and Underground Sports Philadelphia on their podcast apps of choice. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's where you get full video episodes of this show every week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. Help us get to 1,100 and more subscribers. Keep on subscribing. Like I said, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. And this show is powered by our good friends over at Classic Football Shirts. Guys, I genuinely check Classic Football Shirts at the start of every week because they have weekly sales that are just like the deals of a lifetime. Oh, my days. Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
This week's weekly deals are impeccable, to say the least. Part of the weekly deals, we've got some amazing things, including the 2024-2025 Mexico home shirt and the 2024-2025 Portobello FC home shirt, goalkeeper shirt, and away shirt that just looks absolutely incredible. On sale right now for $25.99. You can't beat that. Those jerseys look sick. Classic Football Shirts are making sure that your wardrobes are fit to the nines when it comes to supporting your favorite teams, looking damn good aesthetics-wise. Plus, they just added the 1999-2000 Bring Back Range Real Madrid kit on their website. They got a whole capsule for the UCL quarterfinals squads, the Europa League quarterfinal squads, and a whole lot more. Guys, I love checking Classic Football Shirts, and I always check for Brighton. You always know how I get down. I'm always looking at the Brighton stuff on their website. One day, I will own the 91-93 Brighton away shirt. But Harrison, guess what? I'm not paying almost $500 for a jersey. It's just not happening right now. But one day, I will own that bad boy.
One day.
And you can do it with Classic Football Shirts. Use our link in the description to shop everything at Classic Football Shirts and upgrade your wardrobe today. And we thank Classic Football Shirts for powering the podcast. Harrison, it was a brutal week for both you and I in the Premier League. I will start by saying shout out to Man City for absolutely shit pumping Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace had a 2-0 lead in this game and blew a 2-0 lead as Kevin De Bruyne, Omar Marmoush, Kovacic, McAtee, and Nico O'Reilly go 5 unanswered on those fucking clowns and beat Crystal Palace 5-2. Incredible work Just beautiful work. I loved seeing the shit pumping. They blew a 2-0 lead. They had a 2-0 lead and they blew it. It was magnificent to watch.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Especially just because, you know, fuck that team.
Fuck Crystal Palace.
Fuck Crystal Palace.
All my homies hate Crystal Palace.
Exactly.
Aston Villa Devil Magic just continues. Not really, because they played Southampton, who's already relegated. They have nothing to play for. They win 3-0. Being able to play Southampton this late in the season feels illegal.
Yeah, it should not be allowed. I feel like at this point they should just call up a team from the championship, whoever's in the first place standing right now, and just say, you know what, screw it. If you whatever points you get this season, we will just add on to the start of next season and let you ride from there.
Like, this is no disrespect to the current squad there whatsoever. So I hope nobody takes this out of context that way. Like, I genuinely think Wrexham would give a better effort than Southampton has this season.
Oh, I agree, because they got something to fight for, but it seems like Southampton have just not given a damn the entire way through.
Good grief. Nottingham Forest.
Oh, come on, Nottingham. Not beating the fraud allegations.
Not beating the can't score fraudulent allegations. You lose 1-0 at home to Everton. To Everton. Now, granted, we've said it multiple times on this podcast. Everton, ever since the managerial change, have really like shifted the trajectory of their season. Not that they're like going, to Europe or to Champions League or anything, but like they've like really like it feels like they found themselves again, and they give up a goal in extra time. Just beautiful. Well done. World class from Everton. Brilliant job.
Great job. Great job.
Oh,
Beautifully done.
I love it. I love fucking Nottingham Forest. They're never beating the fraud allegations.
No,
I love it. I can't believe they gave up a goal to Everton in extra time at home.
it's insane. That's something that Chelsea would do. It shouldn't be what Nottingham's doing this season.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's mint. It is everything that Mark said from the moment he started coming on this podcast about Forest. And I've just fully bought into it as well. Forest are not beating those fucking fraud allegations.
No, they're
That was brilliant by Everton. Well done. We'll save our teams for later. Arsenal Brentford draw 1-1. Tough for Arsenal, but 1-1 draw there.
Hey, it wasn't a loss this time. It wasn't a loss this time.
No, I wasn't even getting ready to go there. I think we're both about the joint laugh because as if Nottingham Forest losing 1-0 in extra time at home wasn't the worst loss of the week.
Yeah.
Wolves 4, Tottenham 2.
Yeah. That makes me feel a little bit better about Chelsea.
Oh, it's
I
so
love
good.
it. Tottenham are cursed, and they will never not be cursed.
It's so good. It's so good.
It is.
Shout out to
Truly
Wolves,
is.
man. Wolves have really like grinded their way out of the relegation zone.
They have. They've impressed me. This is a team that really wants to stay in the Premier League, and it's showing with how they've been playing.
And I know they're not gonna go down, but after their loss, Wolves are ahead of West Ham now in the table due to goal differential.
Awesome.
Like there's not enough pointage to salvage Ipswich Town or Leicester from going down, really. But West Ham are at 35 points. Ipswich is at 21. It would be fucking hilarious if West Ham just like lost out and it was like them sweating it out because they don't realize that they can't really go down.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ipswich and Leicester, I don't know if it's like confirmed that they're getting relegated.
Let's see here.
I know that like it was announced that Southampton is relegated, but I don't know if there's 6 weeks left, not including this upcoming week. So
6 weeks left.
that's 18 points in terms of wins.
As of right now, the 3 teams in relegation zone, Southampton are relegated.
Right.
Leicester are on 18 points. Ipswich are on
The
21.
max Leicester could get to is 24. Right?
No.
No, math is hard.
No. They're at 18 plus 18, that'd be 36.
36.
So if
So they're not.
West Ham gets one more draw or win, they're safe. And that would relegate Leicester. Ipswich are on 21 points. Max they could get is 39. So West Ham, Wolves, Tottenham, and honestly, if Ipswich win out, West Ham, Wolves, Tottenham, Man United, Everton are all still at risk of being relegated.
That's
Technically.
insane.
Technically.
Let's just tickle our fancies here. Ipswich's remaining schedule. They play Arsenal this weekend.
Please, for the love of God, let this be the match that Arsenal drop. Just so we have the possibility of Tottenham or United being relegated.
Then they play away at Newcastle.
Yep.
Then they're away to Everton. Then they're home to Brentford. Away to Leicester City. And then they finish the season home to West Ham.
Okay. So
there's potential.
They technically could stay up, but the odds are stacked
against them. Man, imagine if that West Ham Ipswich Town game was like for a relegation.
That would be amazing.
That would be cinema. We would have to live stream that because that would just be incredible.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, Ipswich, we'll get to them in a minute. But Liverpool, best West Ham 2-1. Not much needs to be said there. Liverpool's going to win the league. I think this week Liverpool can officially win the league, depending on some situations. I'm pretty sure this is the earliest that they can clinch the league title. I saw in the Premier League app, which I mean, silver platter. They're away to Leicester City.
Yeah.
Not that I should be talking, but you know, it's Liverpool.
They should do what they need to do.
Newcastle beat United 4-1. Bournemouth, massive win for them on Monday. They win 1-0 home to Fulham. And then Newcastle, midweek matchup to make up for their Carabao Cup scheduling. They shit pump Crystal Palace 5-0. Beautiful job, boys. Beautiful job. Brilliant. Magnificent.
10 out of 10.
I'll start with my boys. 2-2 draw at home against Leicester City is fucking pathetic. You dropped way too many points this year against Leicester City. This is like the epitome of where like Brighton could be in the driver's seat of a Europe spot or like on the precipice of Champions League if they didn't fucking shit the bed in these types of games. You're at home to a relegation squad, Leicester City.
Yeah.
The only goals you score are, and I have a take on this too, the only goals you score are 2 João Pedro penalty kicks. You can't score an open field play against Leicester City. Like, what are we doing? And then it was like you'd get your penalty and damn near immediately surrender a goal to Leicester. João Pedro gets the penalty in the 31st minute, 38th minute. Mavididi scores. 55th minute, João Pedro gets another penalty. Okoli scores in the 74th. Like, you can't hold them off. You can't go and score an open field play. Like, just a piss poor result that you can't have at this point in the season. And you're like taking your control of destiny for where you can end up, you know, in the table, battling for Europe, whatever it may be. You're like slowly letting it slip through your fingers, and you just can't let that happen against Leicester City. You can't fucking drop points like you did earlier in the year to fucking Southampton. Like, it's those types of games that have Brighton in 10th with 48 points as opposed to being in, 5th or 6th with 55 points, 54 points with Man City and Chelsea, with 57 points to Nottingham Forest, with 59 points with Newcastle, who are now 3rd in the table, mind you.
Yep.
Like, you could be right there, but you shit down your leg against inferior opponents. And it's so me to be rooting for a team that does that because it's so Philadelphia.
Yep. It just works. It always checks out in the end.
Frustrating result.
Oh, I'm in the same boat here with you, so.
Yeah, your reunion with Ipswich did not go as planned either. You also record a 2-2 draw.
Ed Sheeran can still go to hell. I don't care that he's in the top 100 most influential people of the year. Like, his team has been the bane of my existence this season. But it is what it is. The season's a wash anyway. Now you just gotta. We'll win the conference league. We'll get a trophy. That's cool. Maybe we'll fight for a Champions League spot. We probably won't.
No, you're still very much in Champions League because it's going to be 5 teams from the Premier League that make it.
That's true, but I just don't see anything but gloom and doom in the future for Chelsea. So I'm just waiting on bated breath for next season at this point.
Shout out to my boy Julio Enciso on loan at Ipswich. Scored that first goal of the game. He's a fucking dog.
That goal from Jadon Sancho is pretty damn nice.
Nasty. But yeah, it was not the week that we needed from our respective squads there.
At least Arsenal didn't win either in the Premier League.
Yeah, nobody on this podcast won last. All draws. It was not ideal,
Not ideal.
because then Monday rolls around for Brighton, and you're just sitting and watching Bournemouth and Fulham battle it out, and you're just hoping for a draw, and then Bournemouth pulls away with a 1-0 win, and it's like, fucking A, like, you were right there, and now you're in a clusterfuck with them, and they're ahead of you based on goal differential. Both Bournemouth and Fulham are, and you're tied in points, and now you really have to lock the fuck in if you want to even think about Europe right now, because fucking Aston Villa's at 54 points. They're in 7th place. Chelsea's at 54 points. Man City's at 55. Nottingham's at 57. And Newcastle's at 59. Those are all the attainable spots right now for Brighton. Obviously, Newcastle's a little far-fetched with 59 with 11-point difference there. But you have teams in front of you that you could easily be in front of. And I want to say it's second most, tied with Arsenal. Yeah. Second most draws in the Prem this year, Brighton and Arsenal. Only team with more is Everton.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Cut that in half, even take 5 of those draws and make them wins. So you add 10 points there. You're sitting at 58 points. You're right there with Newcastle, and you're ahead of Nottingham Forest. If you just make 5 of those draws wins.
It's infuriating. And trust me, as a fan of someone who's infuriating myself, of a team that's infuriating, it never gets old. And by never gets old, I mean it's already old as hell, and you'll never get used to it.
I'm looking at the schedule this year of games played, and the games that Brighton could have easily won. We'll start with my birthday weekend when they drew 2-2 at home to Wolves. Our birthday weekend, I should say. You draw 2-2 to Wolves at home. Where was the other one here? You draw 1-1 at home to fucking Southampton.
Yeah.
You draw 2-2 to Leicester in December. You draw 2-2 to Leicester again this past weekend. You draw 1-1 to West Ham in December. You draw 0-0 to Brentford at home in December. You draw 2-2 to Villa on the road in December. You draw 1-1 to Arsenal. I'll take that any day of the week, at that point in the season. You lose 1-0 to Everton at home. The home struggles this year have been mind-boggling to me for Brighton. Like, the home field advantage has just not been there for most of the season, which is just insane to me. And then your last three results in Prem play, you're at home to Aston Villa and lose 3-0. You go in a fucking red card clusterfuck at Crystal Palace and lose 2-1 when you had a two-man advantage in the game. And then you draw 2-2 to Leicester City at home. Like, you got to win those types of games. You got to win the games earlier in the season that I mentioned there. And you look at Brighton's upcoming schedule, final 6 games of the year for my boys. You're at Brentford this weekend. You have to win that game. You have to get 3 points there. Like, it's a must. Last game of April, you're home to West Ham. You have to get 3 points there. You have to make it a fucking living hell for Graham Potter coming back to Brighton. Then you're home on May 4th to Newcastle. You're away to Wolves, home to Liverpool, and then you're away to end the season at Tottenham.
Yeah.
That's Brentford, West Ham, Wolves, Tottenham. That should be 12 points. There's no excuse there. Like, am I crazy for thinking that?
No, you're not. That's absolutely doable.
Like, that should be 12 points. You don't know what the situation. I would assume by the point in time that you're playing Liverpool at home, they'll already have the league won. They may be playing kids at that point. If that's the case, you should also win that. You're at home playing against inferior talent because you're all Prem talent and guys who have been playing together all year. You should win that if that's the case.
Yeah.
Newcastle, you never know what the situation's going to be there. If they have a Champions League spot locked up by then, I doubt it because it's only 3 weeks away. But that's going to be a battle. But you're at home, like,
yep.
At worst, Brighton should end up with 13 points at worst. Like, I won't be surprised if Newcastle ends up being a loss or Liverpool, one of the two. But, like, you should draw one of those games at worst. But the other 4 that I mentioned, you should win. It should be at minimum to end the season 13 more points, which puts you at, let me see here. 13 and 48 is 61. At minimum, Brighton should be finishing with 61 points. I'm declaring, I decree. Okay, Fabian? 61 points is what I need to see this team finish with at minimum to end the season.
Yeah.
Which, who knows where that puts you? But, like, that should have you finishing top 8.
If you guys can get top 8, that'd be incredible for you.
Like, looking at everyone else ahead of us right now, like Bournemouth, this weekend they're away to Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace have been playing shithousery fucking footy lately, so you never know what the result's going to be there. They're home to Man United. They're at Arsenal, home to Villa, at Man City, home to Leicester City, at Everton, at Man United, home to West Ham. I'm sorry. What am I looking at here? Why is this? What the? Oh, never mind. Hold on. Remove the Everton, United, and West Ham. Those are summer games. Their remaining schedule: at Crystal Palace, home to Man United, at Arsenal, home to Villa, at Man City, home to Leicester City. They still got to play Villa, Man City, and Arsenal. Those should be 3 losses, in my humble opinion. Crystal Palace, you don't know what the fuck that's going to be. We look at Fulham. Their remaining schedule is this weekend. I need them Chelsea boys to pull through this week.
Yeah, we
Chelsea
hopefully
at
should.
Fulham. Then this feels illegal. Fulham is at Southampton in 2 weeks. That should be illegal. Then they're at Villa, home to Everton, at Brentford, home to Man City. So like they've got a couple winnable games, so you gotta keep pace with Fulham. We look at Villa. Their schedule remaining is the following. They are home to Newcastle this weekend, at Man City. Then they have FA Cup semifinals at Crystal Palace on Saturday, April 26th. Then they're home to Fulham, at Bournemouth, home to Tottenham, and then at Man United to end the season. I think Newcastle should beat Villa, in my opinion, and I think City should beat Villa. But also, like, Bournemouth and Villa is going to be a battle. Fulham and Villa is going to be a battle. So, like, there's a shit ton of stuff there. And then who else are we looking at? I mean, Chelsea's really the only other one in front of us. And I'm not saying, like, to catch Chelsea per se, but, like, to be in that range. Like, your guys' remaining matches this season, you're at Fulham this weekend, you're home to Everton, you're home to Liverpool, you're at Newcastle, home to Man United, and then you're at Nottingham Forest to end the year.
Yep.
So, I mean, like, there's attainability there for Brighton to move up in the table. It's just like they have to handle their own business first.
That they do. And hopefully they'll be able to figure it out, but I've seen teams that have been better than Brighton choke it all away. I've seen teams worse than Brighton figure it out. You never know what's going to happen in soccer.
Yep. Which, looking ahead to this weekend, speaking of Brighton, they are away at Brentford. Must-win game, in my opinion. And it's not even an opinion, it's just a fact. Must-win game. This starts the 10 a.m. slate, which there are 4 games, Eastern time, 10 a.m. Southampton is at West Ham, Man City at Everton, and then Bournemouth at Crystal Palace. 12:30 standalone game, Newcastle at Villa. That's going to be must-see TV. That's definitely just get your popcorn ready. Nice little early afternoon game there here in the States on Saturday. Sunday, 9 a.m., Arsenal at Ipswich Town. Wolves at Man United, and Chelsea at Fulham. Those are all at 9 a.m. on Sunday. 11:30 a.m., Liverpool at Leicester City, could be the league title clincher. And then Monday, 3 p.m. standalone, Nottingham Forest at Tottenham to wrap up the weekend. I think Villa Newcastle is must-see TV. I think that's going to be absolute scenes. I think Chelsea Fulham is going to be fascinating to watch. Bournemouth Crystal Palace is going to be a doozy. And Brighton needs to fucking bring their A++ game against Brentford and win on the road and score more than just penalty kicks. Which brings me to this. I said I had a take. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me when I clip this. Harrison, I posed the question. Is João Pedro the best penalty kick player in the Premier League?
Oh, God. No, I'd still say Bruno Fernandes.
Because I'm going to pull up his stats for the season. João Pedro stats. So he's got 10 goals, 6 assists on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Scored 2 penalty shots this past weekend at Leicester. Penalty goals. Let's see. Is there a way to see this actually? I don't know. So he's taken, according to footystats.org, he's taken 18 penalty kicks in his career.
Okay.
And
No, hang on. I think Cole Palmer's 100% from the penalty spot.
so he's in his career, he's 17 of 18.
Yeah, Cole Palmer is a perfect 12 out of 12 in the Premier League with penalties. He has the longest streak of successful penalties without a miss in Premier League history. So,
But I mean, I'll say this. Anytime João Pedro gets fouled and is going to attempt a penalty kick,
or no, wait.
I'm fully confident that he's going to make it.
Oh, Cole Palmer is no longer 12 of 12. He's 12 of 13.
So him and João Pedro are like one and the same in terms of PKs.
Yeah,
They
pretty
both
much.
only missed one. João Pedro has a few more attempts and makes, obviously, just because of the attempt number. But
Yep.
I genuinely, whenever I see that João Pedro is going to make a penalty kick, I am like, I'm the most confident I've ever been because it's just automatic. It's insane how automatic he is. Like a 95% in his career, and this season he's 100%. He's 5 for 5 this year, and he's 19 of 20
Good
in
Lord.
his career. Sorry, so he's more than 17. He's 19 of 20 in his career. 5 for 5 this year though on PKs. Like he's so good when like those pressure situations come up, and like he's so good. I love João Pedro,
He's
and
really good.
like he's genuinely, in my opinion, one of the best. Just like the cold bloodedness he has when it comes to PKs is second to none, and it's as close to automatic as possible. And it's so fun whenever that happens. So if you want to keep fouling João Pedro and letting him just be Mr. Automatic, go right ahead, you big dumb dipshits. Which brings us to table talk. We'll look at the standings here. It is brought to you by our awesome pals over at Biñho. We love Biñho here. It is the next big tabletop game for your man cave, your she shed, your tailgates, your parties, whatever it may be. You're going to be the talk of your event. It is paper football meets foosball in the next big game flicking experience. Go to use our link in the description. Visit everything Biñho has to offer, including officially licensed MLS boards. They have a few Premier League boards and Serie A boards as well, plus just amazing designs. We have 3 here in the studio. Like, I genuinely cannot wait for the summertime and bringing out the Biñho boards again because it's so fun to just play outside and have it on like the patio table and just rocking and rolling when you're outside. Good weather, good vibes. Use our link in the description, and when you go to check out, use code Biñho Bennett 62. That's code Biñho Bennett 62, and you will get 10% off your entire order from our friends at Biñho. Again, that's code Biñho Bennett 62 for 10% off your next order from our awesome pals over at Biñho. Harrison, the table. Liverpool at the top, 76 points. Arsenal next up with 63. Newcastle, though, surging up the table with 59 points. Nottingham Forest now in 4th with 57. Man City in 5th with 55. Chelsea in 6th with 54. Aston Villa in 7th with 54. Bournemouth, Fulham, Brighton all knotted up with 48. And that is your top 10. Brentford and Crystal Palace with 43. Everton and Man United with 38, Tottenham with 37, Wolves with 35, West Ham with 35, and then Relegation Nation, Ipswich Town with 21, Leicester City with 18, and the already relegated Southampton with 10. I mean, I'm not saying, but could Newcastle finish second in the table?
They could. If Arsenal just completely chokes it away, they absolutely could.
Like, in terms of everything, like, Arsenal, like, has a legit chance to win the Champions League. And we'll talk
Yes.
about that in just a minute. So, like, almost like a priorities thing to a degree. Like, make sure you're locked into a top 4 if you're Arsenal. But, like, Newcastle, their remaining schedule, they're at Villa, they're home to Ipswich Town, they're at Brighton, they're home against Chelsea, they're at Arsenal, which could be for second and third, depending on things there. And then they finish the season home to Everton.
Mhm.
Like, there's a legitimate chance Newcastle could find themselves finishing second in the Champions League and dethroning Arsenal of second place. Not that there's like any real substance to that, right? Like, I'm not downplaying like finishing position. Like, as long as you're top 4, you're making Champions League typically.
Yeah. But they absolutely could.
But for a team like Newcastle, like finishing second, that is like the ultimate like just team morale boost.
Yes. And it would be great for them if they did that.
Which would be just the biggest slap in the face for me because Newcastle was originally the team I was looking at. But I don't care because it's fucking up the fucking Albion all day, every day.
Yes, sir.
Let us move to the aforementioned Champions League. It is brought to you by our awesome pals over at Paramount Plus. Guys, don't miss a single second of the Champions League action on Paramount Plus. Every single game streaming on Paramount Plus. It is the best streaming platform to catch all of the Champions League action. We're on to the semifinals, which is crazy. Already on to the semifinals. Don't miss a single second. Use our link in the description to sign up for Paramount Plus today and catch all the remaining Champions League action, plus everything that is on Paramount Plus. Start streaming now. Use our link to sign up in the description. And shout out to Paramount Plus for being a proud partner of the podcast. Leg 2 of 2. The Villa Devil magic is dead.
Thank God. It's finally over.
Oh, I genuinely was like, they can't keep getting away with this. They can't keep getting away with this. Villa do win leg 2, 3-2 over PSG, but on aggregate, PSG is advancing 5-4. Thank you, PSG, for ending our long national nightmare.
Yes, it's so nice to see that Villa are finally done, and I think PSG will be able to handle the aforementioned Arsenal afterward too.
Dortmund take down Barcelona 3-1, but on aggregate, Barcelona advance 5-3. I mean, gutsy performance there from Dortmund, like trying to battle back, but not enough to overcome the 4-0 bloodbath that they sustained in the first leg there. So Barcelona advance.
No shocks there.
Hey, sometimes you just got to tip your cap.
Yep.
Arsenal, 2-1 win over Real Madrid. Clean sweep, 5-1 on aggregate. Brilliant job. A brilliant job.
Unfortunately, yes, but I do think they're going to have their shit pumped by PSG next round. I think it's going to be a PSG Barcelona final, and PSG finally get it off their back and win their first Champions League.
I will say, and yes, like PSG is no slouch of an opponent there that Arsenal will have to face. The way Arsenal's been playing in the Champions League versus what they've been doing in the Prem,
it's night and day.
It's completely different, and I genuinely, Mark, if you're listening, which I know you are, genuinely, I believe Arsenal have a legitimate chance to do the thing.
I do too, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now I'm going to knock on wood so that it actually doesn't happen, because I would hate to see that happen. But They do have a good chance to do it.
Like, PSG advanced on aggregate over Villa, but, like, they lost to Villa today, and, like, they almost choked that away.
Yeah. I really do believe though that this is it's either PSG gonna they're either PSG's gonna figure it out or this is Barcelona's Champions League to lose. I
Uh,
think Barcelona is the team to beat right now.
and then
Inter.
Inter, 2-2 draw, 4-3 on aggregate, advance over Bayern,
Good for them.
T's and P's to Harry Kane.
He goes yet another year without a trophy, but it's all good because he'll probably get the Bundesliga this year.
Are they leading still?
I believe so. Let me double check.
Yeah, by 6 points.
Yeah, they're probably going to get the Bundesliga this year, and he'll finally have a trophy.
Crazy. Inter still holding it down for Serie A, though, as we head to the semifinals. And then there were 4.
And then there were 4.
It is kind of cool that it's 4 different countries represented in this
I know.
semifinal. You have Arsenal from England. You have PSG, obviously, Paris from France, Barcelona with Spain, and then Inter with Italy. Like, it's like fucking 4 nations in this bitch.
This is how the Champions League finals or final round should be too. I hate it when it's like, oh, it's Liverpool and Tottenham and Arsenal and Man City, like it was what 4 years ago. No, give me one team from 4 different countries, and even better, make it like an Ajax or a Porto, as just like that shithouse team in there.
It's a bunch of big dogs in this semifinal. Arsenal, PSG, Barcelona, and Inter. I mean, that's as damn near close to a semifinal as possible.
Yes, it would be better if there was no Arsenal, but
Like the way that and like the reason I think it is so fun that Arsenal's in is like I mentioned, like the way they've been playing in the Champions League has been such a fun, entertaining, and like dominant style of football that like they've earned every bit of being in this semifinal, and it's like good on them. And they're getting healthy as things have progressed. Like Saka scores today for them as they advance, and like they're getting guys back, and they're gonna be relatively healthy as long as things stay that way throughout the remainder of things. And like if they keep it pushing, like I said, like it's not going to shock me if they take down PSG and are playing in the final. I mean, could you imagine the shithousery of an Arsenal and Barcelona
oh god, a
and
rematch of 2006.
and Arsenalona?
Oh, and then Barcelona shit pumps them, and I would be so happy.
And I mean, like, I think just flying under the radar. Inter has been flying under the radar this entire time because Serie A got fucking pummeled in the early go of the Champions League. And like Inter was like, hold on, guys, I'm here to save Serie A. And they've just continued to just kind of just like fly under everyone's radar. Nobody's really paying attention to Inter. And here they are in the semifinal. Sure, it's against Barcelona, but the way they've been playing, like, I can't count them out per se. Now, do I think Barcelona is probably going to win? Sure. But I can't necessarily say it's a foregone conclusion the way that Inter's been playing as well.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be wild. I mean, kudos to Arsenal for clean sweeping Real Madrid out of the Champions League. That in and of itself is fucking impressive as shit.
It's impressive. That matchup was a lose-lose, though, honestly.
And I mean, we'll definitely have for the final, especially if Arsenal is in. I'm sure Mark will be out watching somewhere, but we'll definitely be live streaming one way or another for the Champions League final, which will be a lot of fun. But yeah, Champions League is going to be insane for this semifinal. Arsenal, PSG. Arsenal will be the home team in the first leg on Tuesday, April 29th at 3 p.m. And then Barcelona will be the home team to Inter on Wednesday, April 30th at 3 p.m. And then on May 6th, Inter plays at home against Barcelona at 3 p.m. And then May 7th, Arsenal at PSG. It's going to be a doozy. I can't wait. And it's going to be a diabolical Final Four.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be crazy.
That is all we have for you guys on this one. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the patience as well. Mark will be back on the next episode, I'm sure, waxing poetic about his boys. Also, this was Mark's thoughts from his tropical vacation in the group chat. Obviously won't be able to join tonight, so here are my thoughts.
Okay.
Arsenal are the biggest club in England. Remontada, my ass. We thoroughly outplayed Real Madrid in both legs. Saka is him, and I don't want to hear any other right winger compared to him. Special shout out to Kiwior and also to Harrison. That's what a 100 million pound footballer looks like. None of this Enzo Fernandez or Moises Caicedo bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for in 5 years when they're back into a banter era and Chelsea are back into where they should be. I'll be back. I'll be back with a vengeance.
Meanwhile, I just have my Brighton boys of fucking footballers around the world like fucking Epcot over here. Just the next generation of talent with Greece and South Korea and Japan and Brazil ready to fucking rock and roll. And I'm just enjoying all the shithousery between you two.
Yep. Classic top 6 type shit.
Incredible. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials. Subscribe to the pod on Apple and Spotify. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. You can also leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/FCTopBins. That voicemail line is open 24/7, 365. So leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/FCTopBins. There's been another edition of Top Bins, the show, bringing you all the latest from around the world of the beautiful game. For Harrison, I'm KB. Enjoy the weekend of football. Let's fucking lock in, boys. Let's lock in, Brighton. Up the Albion. Mark, enjoy the rest of your vacation. We'll see you here next week. But until then, we'll see you next week.